What's up, everybody? This is Ben Bizzle coming to you from my living room, and I just got this cart in today, and Adam Earhart asked me to do a little video of me kind of restoring it. And I know that Jory's certainly not going to like this, but I always get questions about like what I use, what products, like what techniques, da 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 da. So I figured that I would just put this together, and then you guys can see how I clean something up from start to finish. So let me get this clipped in. Just scoot it down a little bit. I guess I could have done this where I did product too. The number one thing that I use as far as stickers is generally like this product right here. It's called Undo. They have like two different formulations because one of them I guess you can't sell in California, but regardless, this is great for stickers in general. And then this card actually had a little bit of marker underneath one of the stickers too, so we're going to take that off as well. But first things first, we'll get started with this. This is called a Scotty Peeler. You can get this on Amazon, and it's generally pretty great at taking up old stickers in conjunction with the Undo. Now this seems like it's kind of a tough sticker, so it may take a little while. I may switch this up so I can really get in there. This seems like a particularly nasty one. Normally Undo is pretty good as far as like taking these things off easily, but it seems like this one's going to be some work. So let's see what we can do. Sometimes getting it started is the hardest part, and then once you can get it started, it gets a lot easier. There we go. And this one actually attaches into the other one, so it requires kind of a steady hand. Like you can't just go in and yank them off. You'll get bad results if you try to do that. So you just kind of have to practice. This is not a particularly expensive game, so even if it went like terribly wrong, it's not like you got a little Samson here or anything like that. You definitely want to practice on these lower, tier games first. But after a while, you kind of get the hang of it. You can use this Scotty Peeler as well to kind of get some of this residue that got left behind. And I've used this one quite a bit, so it might be time for me to thinking about kind of upgrading it, because they get a little bit dull. But that to the side. And anybody who's ever done these will tell you, number one, Blockbuster stickers are hard. They did not want their shit coming off. And number two, the hard part of this is not necessarily getting it off the front label. The hard part of this is getting it off the back without fucking this up and causing damage. Now, it looks like somebody tried to get it off before, or it had a little bit of damage on there before. So it's not going to be perfect, even in a best case scenario. But we'll do the best we can and try to see if we can get this off without really jacking it up. And this is going to be tough coming in from this angle. I think we're better off trying to kind of come at it the back way. Because once we can get this part off, we can start peeling it without having to worry about damaging this back sticker any further. Okay. Thanks for sending a really hard one, Adam. I appreciate it. Okay. So that's one down. And then I don't know if this one's going to be harder or if it's going to be easier. But the last one was relatively hard. I like to kind of get the Scotty peeler in there and make like a little pouch, and then you can use that to pour your undo in and then kind of work it a little bit at a time until you can at the very least get it past that part right here. It looks like some of this caught on the back edge, unfortunately. It's sometimes it happens, especially on the backs of these Nintendo games. They're really hard. So Yeah, this is a real fucking bitch. I'll be the first one to tell you. Most stickers are not this difficult to get off, but that's okay. Where there's a will, there's a way. The other cool thing about this undo is that, in my experience, it doesn't really have any negative effects in terms of like affecting the finish on a game. I haven't had it discolor anything. It's pretty great as far as that's concerned. This is the part I'm worried about. Because I don't want that to take that corner out with it. Back is already split, and I'm just trying to not make it any worse than it already is. So this motherfucker, be kind, rewind, get going. Sorry too if like this video is ends up being blurry. Probably is. This is shot on my phone, so there are higher dollar pieces of video equipment to be sure, but I don't own any of them, so. A few more pieces of goo. All right. Bum, bum, bum. Another one bites dust. I wonder how many times Jory's motherfucked me at this point, because it is 15 minutes into the video. He's gonna love me. Oh, this one's easy. Oh, okay. And for the rest of them, I didn't think that there were going to be any easy ones. There's that. Now we move into the cleanup stage. Get this off too, because there's going to be a lot of nasty adhesive that's left behind. So as far as what I use this right here, the Goo Gone Pro Power, and then I use a soft cloth. My hands are sticky as shit right now, but put some of that on, and then usually I'll just pick a spot and start kind of letting this go to work. Now, the undo basically just temporarily breaks down the chemical bond between the adhesive and the cart itself. Goo Gone, on the other hand, it doesn't temporarily break the bond. It breaks down the adhesive in general so that it's coming off. So with undo, like if you had a sticker that was in an unsightly place, you could potentially remove it, and if you're very careful, you could stick it somewhere else and that adhesive will still be good. With Goo Gone, once it's gone, it's gone. There isn't any reusing it. This thing has nasty adhesive all over it. And it looks like there's still some spots where there might be a little bit of sticker left too. That's kind of another way you can attack it too. Like if all you have is undo, you can soak it and then hit it with the Scotty peeler until that stuff starts to come up, and then you can just kind of set it to the side. Caviar. Probably going to have to end up loading this thing up to YouTube because of the length. So if you watched all 19 minutes and 33 seconds up to this point, thank you for your patience. Thanks for sticking around. Can always put a little Goo Gone directly onto it as well. Normally I probably would have also taken the cart apart beforehand, before I did this, but since those stickers were kind of wrapped all the way around and we're already in it, I'm just going to go. Like I said, by and large, he did definitely pick the a challenging one to do. One that took a little while. And this part is where you can see kind of there was a security strip underneath this. And so some of that adhesive is left behind, but we're going to get it off too, rest assured. I just don't want to damage that finish while I'm doing it. This one's just like a slow going process trying to get this last little bit off there because I don't want to damage. There's almost like a laminate on each one of these labels, especially these old like NES labels, and any of the like Super Nintendo labels that were made in Japan typically have a pretty good laminate layer, and you need to be careful because you don't want to jack that up, and it's certainly possible to do. Right now I'm just kind of using my fingernail to drag over there and gently scrape that stuff off. It seems to be working a little bit better than my dull Scotty peeler. That thing was actually had a chip taken out of it. I don't know if you guys noticed that earlier, but that's fine. They're like $10 for 3 of them on I think these I bought from eBay. And I'll throw some links up and stuff so that you guys can get this for yourselves. You've got a little kit to work off of. Fingernails not included. Okay, that's somewhat better. So trying not to hit it super hard because I don't want to take the finish off the cart. This is a mess. It's a filthy job, but somebody's got to do it. I don't know if y'all can see, but I've actually got adhesive stuck to the wall. Oh boy. Fucking Adam's gonna owe me some overtime on this deal. Alright, so I'm going to pause it for just a second, go wash my hands, I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. Let's go ahead and take the old girl apart. Set this guy to the side, and then I'm going to move on to stage 2. I've got my green rag, and I'm going to bust out some Rain-X, the original formula. And I've showed this trick before. I actually got it from a guy off of YouTube, and it works like a champ. But you can see this Jurassic Park is written on the side. Or at least it was, because now it is so fresh and so clean. The one thing I can tell you is that the Rain-X can sometimes be drying to that old plastic. Somebody was telling me to use like mineral oil and that you could get the finish back on carts with that. I have not tried that, so if you try it and it doesn't work out, don't blame me. You may want to wait until I confirm that before you try doing it, but ultimately I think that the Rain-X does a great job, and it doesn't look too bad at this point. Now that had been on here for a while. The longer that the Sharpie is on there for, the more likely that it's going to leave some sort of deep discoloring on the item. And it's one of those things where on certain Sharpies it may not take it off. It may have been on there for too long, or it may be an ink that doesn't have the right chemical properties to be able to be wiped away with Rain-X. But I'd say, 8 out of 10 times that I've tried to use it, it's turned out pretty well. The last little bit I was going to do is I've got it's a little sliver of magic eraser to try to clean up the rest of this. And as you can see, you don't want to hit it hard with the magic eraser. You just want to kind of like lightly rub on it a little bit. But it does a pretty great job as far as just a light surface cleaner. Now this one still has like a bit of adhesive. It's really great for labels, in my experience. And for kind of getting the nooks and the crannies. You can just kind of hit it like this and really get that junk out of there. And then I usually just take a clean soft cloth that I haven't used anything else